Okay, everybody, this is my spoiler review, rant, if you want to call it, reaction to Better Call Saul Season 6, Episode 5, Black and Blue. So, I have a couple thoughts about this episode. A lot of strong feelings, not even mixed feelings, strong feelings about this episode. If you hated what I said last week, you can leave now. If you don't want to hear me just airing my grievances about a show I do dearly love, believe it or not, leave now. You've been warned. You don't have to watch me. You can watch somebody else who shows you all the fun Easter eggs for Breaking Bad and ignores all the flaws of what's happening with this show right now in this season. But here's the thing. Before I even get into the episode, I feel bad for everyone who has AMC Plus. You pay extra for this service, right? It took them 40 minutes to get this thing on the app tonight. And it's insane that that even happened, and it's strange, and it's annoying because they're not giving screeners anymore to critics for this season. It's the first season they're doing that. And then so I was using AMC Plus waiting for the episode. Just crazy. So I feel for everyone who had to wait. That was just so frustrating, especially because you pay extra to get that perk to watch it first without commercials. That wasn't the case tonight. You had to somehow find a way to watch it on TV when many people don't have cable anymore. So really just annoying stuff. So I feel your pain, everybody, because I was sitting there too. So into the episode, I felt that last week where I was hard on the show, I still liked it. I still gave it an 8.3. There's still moments I always feel something from it. And this episode, to me, was the worst episode of Better Call Saul to date. And I don't care how good the mid-season finale is going to be, because it's going to be good, and I'm going to love it. And you could say, yeah, Steve, you're always going around, though, and I do. And I think that it frustrates me with Saul that it's always the first couple episodes of a season that kind of drag a bit, and they really extend sequences where it's to the point of pretension. And this episode is just a different level of that, where I can't even say it was just solid. I just felt like there was stuff here that was just not the quality of TV that Better Call Saul is known for. I thought, first off, that the boxing scene with Howard and Saul was probably the most silly scene that this show has had, and not even a comedic effect. I mean, in the effect of, this is just like, you did all these antics for 3 episodes that Howard keeps repeating during the episode to go to this fighting ring scene, and now he hires a PI on Saul. It's just not enough payoff for that time that we're committing to wait. And you're like tapping your fingers. And I feel like Better Call Saul was at its high when Chuck was in the show. And the reason that worked so well is it wasn't concerned about so much being a prequel, but more being a good show in its own right. That's what this show fought for from the beginning, that it wanted to be its own show, separated from Breaking Bad, good in its own right. That happened with Chuck. And then once Chuck left, they really did start shining stuff with Kim that worked really well, especially in last season. And then introducing Lalo, who really, really brought the show up. But what's great about Kim, Lalo, and Chuck is we haven't physically seen them in the Breaking Bad universe, so it actually helps taking away from the prequelitis, the traps you can fall in a prequel. Where I'm annoyed about this season is, because it's the final season, it is almost so concerned with tying this up to Breaking Bad and just feeding the Saul fanboys any Easter egg they want to say, wow, Vince is a genius. And that's another thing. They always say, bravo, Vince, when it's Peter Gould's show. Vince is part of the writer's room, but it's always Vince, they think, that thinks of everything, which is always frustrating. They don't even know where they're pointing their compliments. But some of these Easter eggs, it's like, oh my God, like, we got to see where Saul got his desk. I don't care. I just don't care anymore. Like, this is not enough. Like, I want a good show. I want the scene where Chuck is pushing a lantern off of a desk. I want Chuck in the courtroom feeling this brother relationship we're attached to. I don't care about Howard and Jimmy having a boxing duel. I don't care about Lalo meeting Werner's wife. And also, guess what doesn't work? In a prequel, having a character like Gus trying to have all these scenes of suspense where he's paranoid when we know he's immortal because he lives in Breaking Bad. So it's stuff like this. They're just like written themselves into a trap here, and you feel the stretch they're doing. It's clearly obvious, and they're masking it by giving the fan service where they need it so people can go to sleep at night and tell themselves this season is incredible and it's a masterpiece, So it's just frustrating to me. And those people are serving that happening because they're not being truthful. They're not asking for the best that we know this writing team can do. We know they're capable of, and it's disappointing so far. Now, Am I going to bite my words? Episode 7? Sure. Was Nacho's death episode really good? It was really good. It wasn't amazing. It was really good. But again, for the final season, this has been incredibly disappointing so far. And that we're going to get 2 episodes until we have a break. It's frustrating. And I can see the argument too about Lalo. I'm not one of those people who's super mad. I saw some people were on Reddit about how he got to Germany, but it still felt silly, the whole thing. And, it's okay. It's like he's getting something. He's doing the Lalo thing where he's a supervillain where, like when he jumped through the vent that time, he just jumps out this window. He was hiding in a bush all night, I guess. And this woman just turns down the most handsome dude ever because she's got work in the morning. Okay, I'll totally buy that. But, yeah, I mean, look, I can sit here and go and give you all the breakdown of the episodes like I used to do. Fortunately, on the screeners, but I think maybe, you know what? I don't think they're even worried about spoilers. I think they're not confident in these last 2 episodes. Clearly, they didn't send them out. I mean, what is there to spoil? What exactly would you be upset? Oh, man, like, they got in a boxing duel and I was spoiled by that? Like, there's nothing happening, And I don't know. I'm going to get crucified in the comments, but I'm not just doing this to get attention. I really am just telling you how I feel after watching this episode. Because, again, this is coming from who truly loves this show. And that's why I'm feeling the heartbreak here, how disappointing this season has been so far. And, again, I know this team. They always come through. And I believe they'll come through with a solid ending for the season. I think they'll come through with a solid ending for the show. And I think they're going to come through with a solid episode for the mid-season finale. But I don't have faith in next week. I think they're going to have to really push the plot forward to get to a good mid-season finale, but I don't think that's going to come until that week. You're going to have something crazy happen with Lalo, and then we go on. And, we can all act like this slug of a couple 5 episodes where the only one I really actually thoroughly enjoyed was episode 3. It's just feel like it's worn out now, and it's just trying to wrap things, and it doesn't really know what to do in this constant Howard Hamlin loop where you think, okay, at least we get the boxing match, maybe it would end, and we can resolve this. No, this is going to keep going, the Howard, Jimmy, Sandpiper, and it's just a lot of like, I forgot to feel. I want to feel again. I want to feel like we did with Jimmy and Chuck. I want to feel that again, and that's what Breaking Bad had till the end. This does not. That's what's frustrating me. So let me know, though, your thoughts down below. I'm giving this one a 6.4, the lowest I've given a Better Call Saul episode. I just thought this was dreadful, and maybe it feels more dreadful because last week was not great. It was good, just wasn't great. So usually with Saul, when it's that, the next one's usually a banger, but that's not the case here. This was actually even worse. And I think it's the first time with Saul I felt that way, where it was like, okay, an episode I wasn't crazy about usually picks up the next one. And this is the first time I was like, whoa, I actually like it less. So I'm a little worried here, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. I'd love to read your comments. Respond to as many as I can. Please be civil about it, though. You can hate anything I say. You can hate me. I'm totally cool with that. But just be cool. Don't be personal about it. You can share your thoughts when I'm wrong. Just don't be personal. And please follow me at Steve Varley Show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok for more of me. And I'll see you next time.